India faces another major decision point in its search for a maritime face. Do you think India is facing a maritime dilemma? GS Paper 2, India and its neighbors. Do you think India is facing a maritime dilemma? Some Indian strategists advocate that India should structure itself essentially as an Indian Ocean region player. Some others want the field to be expanded to Asia-Pacific. In terms of maritime influence and responsibilities, this means abilities that extend from the Suez Canal on one side to waters of the Western Pacific on the other. So, which of these postures fits in with our interests and are doable within our present and likely capabilities, is the dilemma. Why is India not responding for US request to participate westwards? America has consistently advocated an Indo-Pacific role for us with joint naval patrols in the South China Sea. But we ourselves have begun to adopt a profile which is veering to act east from look east. For the US, the Indo-Pacific only seems to start from our eastern seaboard extending into waters of the Western Pacific. Thus it does not see major roles for India westwards. Why did Indian Ocean become bone of contention these days? As the third largest body of water in the world, and containing vital sea lanes that help feed some of Asia's largest economies, the importance of the Indian Ocean has long been clear. The sea lanes in the Indian Ocean are considered among the most strategically important in the world because more than 80% of the world's seaborne trade in oil transits through Indian Ocean choke points, with 40% passing through the Strait of Hormuz, 35% through the Strait of Malacca and 8% through the Bab el-Mandab Strait. The relative decline of US power in the region has left a void that is increasingly being filled by China and India, both eager to secure their position as major power brokers in global affairs. Has Indian Ocean tuned battleground for global conflicts? Yes. More than half the world's armed conflicts are presently located in the Indian Ocean region. The waters are also home to continually evolving strategic developments including the competing rises of China and India, potential nuclear confrontation between India and Pakistan, the US interventions in Iraq and Afghanistan, Islamist terrorism, growing incidents of piracy in and around the Horn of Africa, and management of diminishing fishery resources. As a result of all this, almost all the world's major powers have deployed substantial military forces in the Indian Ocean region. 2. Crony capitalists' wealth in India shrinks, says The Economist. GS Paper 3, Indian Economy and Issues Relating to Planning, Mobilization of Resources, Growth, Development and Employment. Why is it in news recently? In news, with the government taking several measures to clean up the system, the wealth of crony capitalists in the country has dipped, according to a study by The Economist. The study claims that from its peak of 18% of gross domestic product, GDP, in 2008, the crony capitalists' wealth is now down to 3%. It uses data on billionaires' fortunes from rankings by Forbes. The good news is that the crony capitalism across the world is shrinking, but developing countries still account for 65% of globalism. Russia tops the list, followed by Malaysia and the Philippines. What is crony capitalism? Crony capitalism is a term describing an economy in which success in business depends on close relationships between business people and government officials. It may be exhibited by favoritism in the distribution of legal permits, government grants, special tax breaks, or other forms of state interventionism. Crony capitalism is believed to arise when business cronyism and related self-serving behavior by businesses or business people spills over into politics and government. How to end it? One way to end cronyism in the allocation of natural resources is to move to transparent auctions, like it has happened in Spectrum. The government needs to put in place safeguards that will ensure that there is no collusion between bidders.